please welcome the VP of Global Loyalty and Partnerships at IHG Hotels and Resorts, Heather Balsley, in conversation with Skift Senior Hospitality Editor, Sean O'Neill.
On April 13th, Intercontinental Hotels Group completely revamped its loyalty program. It was the biggest changes that they've made to the program since they invented the concept of a hotel rewards program decades ago. To walk us through it and to connect some of the dots about the bigger picture in loyalty trends is Heather. Heather, thank you for joining us. And maybe we just dive right in. What are you proudest of with IHG's team in this revitalization of the program?
Yeah, this is obviously a huge undertaking, and we're really proud of what we've brought to market. But it's complex, right? Delivering loyalty at scale across 6,000 hotels around the world, comes with changes to the program, but ultimately the benefits, the experiences need to be delivered at every touch point across every one of those hotels. So I'd say I'm most proud of how this new program delivers an exceptional experience and value for our members through choice and flexibility, but we've done it in a way that really minimizes the cost and operational impact on our hotels. We've made trade-offs. So we've removed some, lower cost, lower valued benefits for our members and used that savings for our hotels to allow the program to invest in some of these, higher priority benefits that we've just launched. And it means that, well over 95% of our hotels are going to be able to deliver this program at cost neutral to even, cost savings over time. And we've simplified the operations. Some of our new benefits, like the food and beverage reward or confirmable suite upgrades rewards, are designed to be delivered above property through the mobile app, so that the hotels really don't have to do anything to support that delivery. And so balancing between member value and kind of owner value and operational simplicity has really been a huge win for us, and I think has gotten our hotels really excited about these changes.
Well, that's cool. So I'm hearing like it's for both sides of the marketplace, and for the owners, you want to keep things lightweight so that it can be delivered consistently at scale. For something, it's the major commercial driver for them, but also for guests, you're trying to make sure that they're happy with the offering. My colleague Wouter at Skift Research was talking earlier at Skift Loyalty Summit. He was making some comparisons of public released financial documents and was showing that IHG had about $200 million in recognized loyalty revenues in 2021, and that put IHG in fourth place against the other hotel groups. Will the changes that IHG has made to its loyalty programs improve your competitive positioning, or is it about managing cost when you've done this revitalization?
Yeah, this revitalization is about growth. It's about growing profitable revenue for our for our hotels, and then ultimately creating that virtuous cycle of then capacity for reinvestment. So those financials, that place us, fourth in terms of the size of that revenue generated. It's a very explicit goal of ours to continue to grow that, because that then creates capacity to continue to invest, to drive loyalty, to strengthen our brands, and ultimately drive the profitability of our third-party owners. We deliberately, though, are managing cost to serve, because a loyalty program is ultimately about driving the most profitable guests to our hotels. We've got to retain that profitability while we aim to grow share and return rates. And so that's why we're always looking to strike that balance. It was decidedly not a cost containment effort, but we, focus there to ensure we have that right value equation.
So it's like you said, you're managing trade-offs. So you're sort of prioritizing what's going to deliver the most value. You're not extracting investment in the program, but you are being mindful of the costs for the owners, is what I hear you saying.
Yeah.
So IHG CEO Keith Barr, he talked recently at a February investor presentation, and he gave some numbers about the program. He said you have about 100 million enrolled members. Members traditionally account for more than half of your guest days. Loyalty members are 9 times more likely than non-members to book direct. And so that direct is a much cheaper channel for owners. So that's some of the color on why these guests are more popular. let's talk a little bit about what guests want now. So, I mean, IHG must have done research ahead of redesigning your program. What did you find that frequent guests want out of their loyalty programs now?
Yeah, we did a lot of research, both before the pandemic and during the pandemic. And, what we found is even with all of the change in our lives over the last couple of years, there's a few universal truths that have remained around loyalty and what guests want from a hotel loyalty program. Maybe obvious, but by far the number one reason that people join a hotel loyalty program, it's for the points. They want to earn points for free nights. And you've got to be competitive. And that's actually why the first set of changes that we announced to IHG One Rewards in January were significant enhancements to our tier structure and bonus earn profile. But beyond the points, there's also some core expectations and universal priorities around benefits, things like free breakfast, free upgrades. And so you see that being incorporated into our program. But as we extended that research and started to look at different customer segments, and for us, we're a big global company, so looking at those segments in different markets around the world, on the one hand, guests tell you they want more, right? More benefits, more value always translates into more loyalty. But a program and our hotels can't afford to give everything to everyone. And so that's why we've leaned into choice and flexibility. And so the launch of our Milestone Rewards program and platform, which gives members choices along the way of which benefits matter most to them, was really at the heart of putting our members in control. And really empowering our guests and treating them as individuals. And I think that's something that maybe existed before, but has been reinforced during the pandemic and now in this kind of renaissance in travel is customers want to be cared for. They want to be respected as individuals. They expect that care from hotels and from loyalty programs. And so we've been really thoughtful about how we've leaned in to give them that care and flexibility in how they travel and how they're rewarded along the way.
Well, Heather, you mentioned that, in this particular environment, we now have more a blurring between leisure and work, and there's some people are working hybrids for some companies still. Did IHG sort of adjust any of the perks for those kind of travelers?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, it's been very interesting because while research hasn't shown a whole lot that like fundamental expectations have changed, we know people are traveling differently. It's one of the reasons why we didn't just, add a whole bunch of benefits associated with the tiers and call it a day, because we know customers' needs are always changing. And so flexibility and choice is now foundational to this program. And we know that the same customer, because of this blending of leisure and business travel, they operate very differently and behave very differently depending upon the trip they're on. Even within the same trip, they may want different things. And so that's why we've biased again towards that flexibility, so that the program itself can deliver different points of value for different customers, but also for the same customer at different parts of their, travel experiences throughout the year.
So one of the points that Keith Barr had made was that a lot of the loyalty members book direct. What have you done to sort of encourage the IHG app to become more of a destination for loyalty members to use? What's like one or two key things?
Yeah, so obviously, booking direct is at the heart of that value proposition. And we actually released on Tuesday this week, on the 19th, we began the early release of our new mobile app, which is a completely revamped mobile experience for our members in a few ways. And we've invested, side by side in that mobile experience alongside this loyalty relaunch because they're so closely connected, and our loyalty members are the most engaged in that mobile experience. So a few things we changed. One, just modernized the overall look and feel, and you can see our new branding and visual identity coming to life and really showcasing our brand portfolio, which runs with, a ton of scale and unique experiences in the luxury and lifestyle space, all the way through to Holiday Inn and Holiday Inn Express, the largest brands in the world. But the new mobile app has that much faster booking, a more seamless booking experience. You can see some visuals here. A enhanced account management experience that will present our customers with more immediate reward, really, seeing those milestones within reach, understanding where they are on their journey towards the next tier, towards the next milestone. It now includes a mobile wallet, which is where members can find all of their rewards and redeem them seamlessly in the app. And then ultimately targeted messaging. It is why loyalty is so valuable to our hotels. Not only are they more likely to book direct, once we have them engaged in the mobile app, they're much easier to engage with pre-arrival, during stay, post-arrival, and really deliver that care and service that they're looking for, that actually now more and more can be delivered above property through that mobile experience, putting less of a burden on our hotels.
Yeah, I imagine as third-party cookies, or for a lot of digital marketing via Google and Apple, may be sunsetted soon. So having that first-party data through when guests voluntarily offer their information through the loyalty program will only become more valuable over time. Keith Barr, when he was talking in February, he said that the loyalty program had gained 7 percentage points in contribution in the 4 years prior to the pandemic. But as my colleague Bader Gertz was saying earlier from Skift Research, in between 2019 and 2020, there was a little bit of backsliding, and it dropped 3 percentage points from 42% to 39%. So it looks like one of the metrics that I'm imagining that your program's revitalization will be judged by is how well it sort of reverses, it brings back the loyalty contribution. I imagine guest retention will be another metric that you'll be looking at. So maybe talk a bit about guest retention. You've got a new generation of travelers that are coming up. Is there anything that you're doing at IHG as part of the revitalization to be better at retaining the next generation?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I mean, the loyalty contribution it's about retention and value and return rates. It's also about acquisition and growing the program and attracting new customers. And that's actually was one of the more challenging dynamics during the pandemic, was actually acquisition, just because of the travel patterns and travel trends. But some of what we saw in our research was a huge opportunity to target that next generation of traveler. This sentiment from that traveler that no one really is recognizing who they are, how they travel, and what they want to do. And so a lot of the work that we've done to relaunch this program and introduce IHG One Rewards is about that next generation of traveler. Benefits that are more flexible and puts them in control, recognizing again that they're not all the same and they're not all valuing the same things, but also showcasing the brands within our portfolio that we know that younger customer is really engaged with, whether it's iconic brands like Holiday Inn Express and our boutique brand Kimpton Hotels, which is much beloved, as
very
well as
much beloved. I think it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and some of our newer brands as well. You'll see more and more, and even just how we advertise the program and our brand portfolio, that for certain audiences we'll be showcasing those brands in a way to raise awareness and inspire the types of experiences that younger customer is looking for.
Fascinating. Thank you, Heather. We heard earlier today, my colleague Brian Summers was talking with Delta's VP of Loyalty, Prashant Sharma. They were talking about how Delta has made the redemptions a little bit more dynamic in terms of redemption pricing. IHG is also recently, you've added dynamism to redemptions. What was your thinking behind that?
Yes. Well, so first, it's work we started before the pandemic to launch dynamic reward night pricing. And for IHG, it actually was a very deliberate strategy to enhance the value of our currency to our members. And so, we launched, midway through 2021, and immediately it offered our members more value because at that time ADRs were depressed, and it gave us the ability to very quickly align reward night pricing with hotels' ADRs. Since then, we've really refined the model, minimized the volatility in it, which we saw a little bit of in the initial launch, just because demand dynamics were all over the place. But what it's accomplished is really, again, putting our members in control to, sometimes the currency value will be a little bit lower when you're looking at peak properties at peak times, but we're seeing a lot more redemptions in higher value opportunities that we see our members traveling, throughout the year, all days of the week, redeeming for points. The other really important benefit that we launched last week for our Diamond and Platinum members is exclusive access to reward night discounts. And that's essentially, it will be, on a promotional basis. So several promotions throughout the year when those top tier members will have exclusive access to discounts for every reward night that's available in our system for a window. Essentially, think of it as a flash sale. And that's just one more step that we're taking to really enhance currency value for our members across the board.
Okay. Only have time for like about half minute left. So one last point I want to bring up, my colleague Wouter Gertz was pointing out the importance of sustainability, that loyalty brands are so popular with their guests, but they have a little bit of a responsibility, to be mindful of climate impact. Sometimes reward programs are a bit like a pie eating contest where the reward is more pie. And, sometimes people might like to use the rewards in other ways. Is there anything IHG is doing on that front?
Yeah, I mean, IHG across the board, kind of beyond the loyalty program, is deeply committed to targets, very explicit science-based targets to recognize our impact on the environment. And obviously, it's a multi-year journey. And the loyalty program is the same in terms of how we offer members the opportunity to use points to opt out of housekeeping, or opportunities to donate their points through our website. So there's a number of different ways that our corporate responsibility efforts flow through the loyalty program.
Wonderful. Heather, thanks for walking us through all of this. Congratulations to your team on getting this launch. And
Thank you.
I hope you have a good day.
Thank you for the time. Take care.